Gentlemen, to the F1 2020 Russian GP Live. Today we are going to be taking AlphaTauri's Danny Kvyat, obviously the Russian driver and the only current Russian driver in Formula 1, obviously doing a last to first challenge, or last to question mark challenge, obviously, because yeah, around the circuit of Russia, full race, okay. We'll do a one short qualifying, and that will be it really. So yeah, last to question mark challenge, obviously, and hopefully, well, I'm not really too sure what we can get out of the AlphaTauri. Obviously, it's not really the car I usually drive. Usually I'm used to driving more quicker cars, top quality cars, let's say, in the game. However, you know, it's nice to sometimes do this challenge, but not necessarily expect to win. So whatever position we finish, the accomplishment may be twice as more because, well, technically, I didn't really expect to win, if you know where I'm coming from. And instead, obviously, I don't expect anything maybe but to win. And yeah, maybe certainly finish lower. So we're gonna just crash out straight away, so we're starting last. And yeah, we'll start obviously last on the grid and we'll go from there. And hopefully we can finish, well, where do the AlphaTauris actually finish? Roughly, let's say P8. So I think that will be our primary goal, to finish 8th or above. Even though Pierre Gasly there, 13th. However, don't forget, we're starting last, so first few cars, well, the two Williams, in theory, should be easy to get past. I think the two Haas cars should be also quite easily to pick off. And then I think from there, that's where the struggles may start beyond the two Haas cars. I think the Alphas will be a bit more of a fight. But the midfield is very close, obviously. So, you know, only 1 or 2 tenths, and you could be either side from 13th up to 6th, even probably. That's how close the midfield battle can be. So, yeah. I believe this race is 53 laps. Or somewhere in that region, so it's not too long of a race, and the lap is around a 1 minute 30 we're talking, so yeah, so we're starting last, obviously P20, that's why it's called the last question mark challenge, because, you know, essentially it is literally in the name. You start last and then you see where you're going to finish up. And apart from that, hopefully, well, we'll see. Probably strategy will probably be a one stop, I suspect, around Russia. Even though the team is looking at a 2-stop, well, we're probably not going to go for a 3-stop. I think that would be a bit ridiculous, surely. I'm going to see what a 1-stop would look like. So we're talking only a couple of seconds. Is that really worth a 1-stop? In terms of laps, I'm just going to see whether there's... So, ideally, if we were going to go 1-stop, we'd have box lap 22. If we're going to go for the 2-stop, we're going to be stopping lap 18. Not sure which one to go for. Because it's only 2 seconds. That isn't really much difference in terms of track time, like, or race time, if you know what I mean. It's not like the 2-stop is many seconds slower than the 1. I think what we'll do, we'll go for the 1-stop, and if I feel like I fancy a 2-stop, we'll just revert on to that strategy. I think that's the simple thing to do. because I just think, I don't know why, I just don't think the two-stop is necessarily massively... If the two-stop was massively quicker, like, I would hands down go for a two-stop, but I just don't feel it is.
We need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
Like, it's very minimal by the looks of it, between the two-stop and one-stop, so, yeah. So obviously, formation lap now.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good.
Obviously, Russian Grand Prix is the next Grand Prix in the Formula 1 calendar. That's why we're doing this video today. Tyre wear tends to be quite low around here, so overall it's not really something there should be too many problems with around here. But at the end of the day, that's why we're going really for probably a one-stop more likely today, unless I fancy the two-stop, as I say. So here we go then, lining up on the grid for what surely will be lights out, and away we go. So, as the lights begin to turn on, we got 5 red lights, lights out, and away we go then for the Russian Grand Prix. Last to question mark challenge then here, and we didn't really make a great start. We're a bit far behind to pick up any probably positions down into this first corner, so we're just going to be nice and sensible then here as we head into the first corner. Just be nice, sensible, no need to send it down the inside of anyone there, because we certainly weren't close enough to make that sort of manoeuvre. However, maybe a bit close, really close there between myself and George, as George looks to have a bit better traction, but we brake just ever so slightly later, and that's already us up into 19th off the start then here. So just been nice and sensible, not taking too many risks here in these opening few laps. As I believe that's for McLaren getting past my teammate as we look to take Nicholas Latifi here, and that's us up into 18th position then there, as we would have considered going down the inside of Magnussen there. Probably should have now, but oh well, better be safe than sorry. So our teammate's gone slightly backwards, we've recovered ourselves up into 18th. It's a long race though. And if we can do that for the next 53 laps, well, that would be pretty decent result, gaining 2 cars per lap. Obviously, next up we've got the 2 Haas cars. As I said, might be slightly difficult, well, might be slightly more difficult to get past them due to the fact they are quicker, in theory. in a straight line. However, in the corners and under braking, a little bit of contact between myself and Magnussen. Just going to check from we make sure that's all okay. Seems to be fine, but yeah, thankfully no damage. But that was quite a lucky escape then there. Got to be a bit careful, a bit more careful than that, because yeah, don't want to be doing that too often. Hitting Kevin Magnussen. But he was a bit slow. I've just worked out why the car felt a bit less maybe power on the straights. Down the inside of Magnussen then there. Well, that's due to the fact we were saving fuel, when I didn't even realise. But if we were saving fuel, well, done alright I suppose. Anyway, next up is Romain Grosjean in the second of the two Haas cars.
DRS is now enabled.
We will pick up DRS. Don't believe Roman's got the DRS actually here. So now we're obviously using normal revs.
Okay, battery's looking good. You can use overtake to get past.
Well, we're not gonna go for it yet. Just hold back a little bit. Sometimes, always best way, just hold back, just a little. And just wait your opportunity, bide your time, rather than going for a rash move. So,
Teammate ahead is 3.
right now we've picked up roughly a car per lap. We should easily have Grosjean here. No contest really. Grosjean does give us a cheeky little squeeze to the inside, but we get past. Then in the end there. And next up is Giovinazzi. So we're in a bit of clean air now. So now it's about catching up to the back of Giovinazzi.
Caution.
So yellow flag. Not sure what it's for.
Flags ahead. No overtaking through the
Looks like the Alfa Romeo may be slowing down. Not too sure why. No, it's Lance Stroll out of this race then on lap 4. So that promotes us up into 15th and one step closer to some points today then. So 15th now. As we still continue to gain on Giovinazzi and the two Alfa Romeo cars. In 14th and 13th, obviously they're running right now. So the car feels quite good actually, I will say that. The car really just working perfectly right now. Just feels very, very nice. Really enjoying this right now, and just see there, 7/10 quicker than my overall best lap time. Maybe on the straights we're probably lacking a little bit of power, but otherwise really enjoying this car, because yeah. So certainly quicker than Magnussen, Grosjean and all of those behind. Around 4 seconds almost over the two Haas. A little bit of contact with full, but as long as we've got no damage, we're okay. So roughly 4 seconds is the gap. So first time we had to take the escape road out. Obviously, if you go over the orange curbs, you must return to the track through using that orange. Well, you must go to the left of that orange bollard.
Use your overtake button.
As per normal rules. Not sure whether that's same case here, but I just did that because I thought that'd be the best thing, so we don't gain the advantage. Effectively, that's like a penalty in itself either way. That you can see you do lose actually a bit of time through doing that, about 3 or 4 tenths.
The car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap form.
So right now, pace does feel like we're with this group here, which I believe has been led by my teammate. And so far, lap pay of 53. Still a long way to go in this race, so we're very early on in the Grand Prix still. But so far, arguably so good. So
lapping around a second faster than the car ahead. Keep this up.
I know, apparently 1 second faster than the car ahead. Which, if true, that's obviously very good. Don't think we're lapping a second faster than the car ahead. Probably the car behind, yeah. So lap 9 and we're 7.2 seconds clear of the Alpha of the Haas cars. We're pretty much well, pretty much on the back now of this group here, this train that's been led by my teammate Pierre Gasly. Got a little bit sideways there. So, lap 10, so that's first of 10 laps done, got 4 more of that to do. Right, there we go, P14. We're now ahead of Giovinazzi. So next is 13th, that's where my teammate originally started, obviously. So that will be alright. And then after Norris, we got obviously Gasly, my teammate. Car just got a little bit slidey. So there goes Kimi Räikkönen on Lando Norris around the outside. A little bit of a lock-up from Kimi, I believe that was, but that's a very nice move from Kimi Räikkönen. Now hopefully, this is what I'm hoping, Räikkönen will just pull away a little bit from Lando, just so Lando doesn't give a DRS. And then we can come past. That's hopefully my aim, but you never know. Right now, Räikkönen is, well, Norris is in the DRS range of Räikkönen, I believe. But, slipstream wise, and Norris is so slow off the corner. It's like been in a different league to Lando. That was. So, maybe Lando's got some issue with his car, not too sure, but he was just so slow off the actual corner in terms of acceleration. It was very weird to see, almost as if he was harvesting. As Räikkönen does touch the grass, we will have a DRS on Kimi here, which will certainly help. Not going to be close enough to make a move. And we've made our first error of the day. Yeah. Very simple error actually. We just sort of fell asleep there and didn't turn the car. See, from maybe here it probably looked like, I think it was because Räikkönen obscured that. Anyway. Usually, whatever happened, it happened, oh well. At least we got flashback. Hopefully that'll be the only mistake we make all day. Anyway. Let's get the older man, Kimi Räikkönen, the Iceman, as some say. Alright, get the car, good drive. Let's go. Overtake engaged. Down the inside, nice and simple move. Turn the car in, get the car going. Next up, Pierre Gasly, 11th place, and right now he's fighting the Renault and Sergio Perez for the first couple points of the day. So we're already up towards the points. Then here. And that's us up into 12th. Now this is probably where you'd expect the AlphaTauri to be, roughly, P12. Fighting for certainly some points.
To car in front is 2.1 seconds.
So, gaining quite quickly on Gasly, our teammate, as we make a error going into that corner. That certainly don't help us out. I'll make another error. This might allow Kimi way back through, just having to try and recover the car a little. Right, now we should not make error no more. There we go. So yeah, obviously what happened there, because it's a sequence of corners, once you're out of shape for the first corner, you're trying to get back in shape for the second corner, and the third and the fourth. It's a very quick sequence of corners. May not look very quick, but that is literally what it is. As soon as I was out of shape for that first corner, I was out of shape for the rest of them as well. So that's what happened there. Obviously not good, but as you'll see, once you recovered, and once I knew we got through that, a bit of a track. Oh, that is a bit disappointing. Once again, car's a bit, we'll say, loose looking there. But yeah, grip might be starting also to go away on the tyres, possibly. I think that could also be playing a part now. Anyway, lap 15 of the 53. As you'll see, this sequence of corners is all about making sure you're in tune for that first set. See, as you can see, go deep there, that loses you a lot of time here. But thankfully, good thing about that set is you can actually still recover from that. But Pierre Gasly's in. So, question is now, do we revert onto a two-stop, or do we go for the one-stop? That is the ultimate question. I think now that's got to be answered. Obviously, if we were going to go for two-stop, we will come in the next lap or two. We're going for the one-stop. We will.
Gap ahead is 2.9 seconds.
You know, yeah, I'm gonna do similar strategy to Pierre Gasly. So we are going to go for a two-stop. I've decided that, as Pierre Gasly's gone for it. But I'm going to go earlier than what the team recommended anyway in the first place. So fresh set of tyres will be carrying on the car. That's extra grip. And thing is,
be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Do that, hopefully. We get a bit of an undercut on the cars ahead as well, and hopefully that should work nicely. Now it should come out roughly 18th according to this. We'll see.
Release.
So obviously we're now on our way. Gasly's just gonna go past, and there we go then. Gasly's just overtaken George Russell. As wow, Nicholas Latifi a long way back, 16 seconds. So if we wanted to, effectively we've got a pit stop now over both Williams, who are really, really slow by the looks of it. Not sure whether Latifi's pitted or whatever. Clearly, obviously, something's happened. But yeah, Latifi really, really slow. Really, really slow or far behind us. So effectively got a pit stop now over both Williams Formula 1 cars, effectively. And that also goes for more or less my teammate as well. Thankfully, we're catching George in all the right places. We haven't really caught him in places where we'll lose too much time. But yeah, these new fresh tyres really working nicely right now, as
we're trailing our teammate by 3.5 seconds.
Should get DRS widely open. Use slipstream. And there we go, that's us up now into 17th again, trailing our teammate just. And now it's about trying to get into the top 10. Thing is, we're right now done the fastest first sector of any car on the track. So right now we are flying. So when they do their pit stops, hopefully we will come out ahead of everyone. Well, when I say everyone, ahead of the people we were racing, or a whole lot closer. Hopefully our teammate will be also ahead of some people. Hopefully the undercut is working. So far you'd have to say it is, based on the evidence. As one of the Haas peels off into the pits. As cars are now starting to make their stops. Will we get Ocon here? We may just about get Ocon. Going to be really close on the pit exit here, as we do get the slipstream. And Ocon just about manages to defend, obviously, us off then here and get out just ahead of us. But that is encouraging because, well, the Racing Point was racing, obviously, Ocon. So that would, to me, indicate my teammates now in the points. And we're, well, if we can hold on to the back of Ocon, we should be also joining Ocon very soon. And our teammate also in the points as well. So this two-stop may have been the best option for us indeed here right now, as Ocon gets DRS, as Grosjean is obviously right now probably going to come into the pits at the end of this lap. Now, will this delay us here? Been stuck behind Romain Grosjean, obviously, in the Haas car, because obviously right now his tyres are certainly coming towards the end. We just need him to peel off into the pits. That's a good lad. So now Ocon getting a bit sliding out of that corner as we head through the final corner. Are we going to be ahead of the second or Perez here? Yes, we are. And can we now get Esteban Ocon on the finish straight? Yes, we can. Very good then. Up into 10th. That is us now into the points. Then there. And we're ahead of, obviously, the Renault on the track. My teammate, Gasly, then is up into 8th place. So right now, That is very good. That's worked out very lovely for myself and Gasly then there. Because we're up into the points. Then both of us AlphaTauris, and yeah, that's obviously pretty decent indeed. So yeah, we'll take that. So Bottas doing the fastest lap so far of the race. As I believe my teammate just locked up his front tyre. Right now though, we're more or less matching the leader's pace for pound here. Probably a few tenths down per lap, but as you can see, that was very close to the leader's pace. So right now we're probably around the second or third or fourth fastest car on the track right now, which is very encouraging. Obviously that could be partly due to DRS and all other factors, but very encouraging to see. Obviously we are a long way though off the lead. Not saying we're racing for the lead here, absolutely not. We're a long way back, but yeah. So next up is Daniel Ricciardo in his Renault. Right now Ricciardo is in a Renault, is in an AlphaTauri sandwich. However, I'm in a, well, sort of a bit of a Renault sandwich, because I'm in between Ocon and Ricciardo. And Ricciardo's in between myself, racing as Kvyat, and obviously Pierre Gasly. So lap 21 of the 53. Obviously lap 27 roughly will be the halfway mark in this Grand Prix. So far been a long race, but a good race, I'd have to say so far. As Ricciardo gaining on Gasly, but not enough to really make a serious bid at overtaking then here, as we get a good exit, but again we're probably not quite close enough to really start thinking of a move. We do again the fastest first sector, so we're really making the car work in that fast sector. Really are doing a brilliant job then through there. Open up DRS. Use that to good effect. Right now, under the bridge. Right, next up. So lap 23, we're about to start.
We're slowly gaining on the car in front. Try to keep this momentum.
So we got a good run off that final corner. We're in the DRS. Obviously, we're probably going to be getting a double toe right now. Here we go then. Can we get the move done on Daniel Ricciardo? Down the inside we go on Daniel Ricciardo. Little wheel contact, but that is us up into P9 then on lap 23. And what a decent move that is then. So next up is Pierre Gasly, my teammate in the AlphaTauri, who won in Italy and became the 109th race winner in Formula 1. Obviously today right now. He's doing a good job, obviously, up into P8, but obviously we're looking a little bit quicker at this stage in the race, and, well, I will want to come past, because we are right now a bit quicker, and right now that will be our intention, hopefully, on probably not this straight, but certainly the next straight. But if we can get a run, I will obviously try and take it as soon as I can. Yeah, right now looking, well, we are gaining a little bit. We are gaining, but I'm not going to risk it here yet. We will wait a little bit longer. As we fling the car right, then fling it left. Then fling it left again, uphill over the crest. Then obviously into this final sector where we have a few, well, 3 right-handers, and across the line start lap 24. So P8,
Keep pushing. The car behind can't keep up with the pace. We think they're struggling with fuel.
so can we get Gasly on this straight? Probably not, no, not yet. So we'll wait again, just a little bit longer then. But I want to get past Gasly here, because then the next car's 3 seconds up road. Then if we can try and chase down Sainz, at least that also puts a gap between myself and Pierre Gasly, who obviously will probably be stopping a lap prior to me. But I want to get ahead of Gasly here. His car just didn't like that one a little bit. But anyway. Oh, what can we do then on Gasly? Can we get Gasly here? No, not quite. We come once again into this final, obviously, section to start lap 25. We can use a bit more this time down the straight, give us a little bit more of a boost than here, and here we go. Should be a clean sweep around the outside on Pierre Gasly. Nicely done, and that's us up into PEA ahead of Pierre Gasly. Next up is Carlos Sainz. Then we got Sebastian Vettel, obviously, in P6. So that is a pretty decent, nice racing maneuver. So now my objective is to pull away from Gasly and just, you know, hopefully pull and create a bit of distance between myself and Gasly, in order to just give ourselves a bit of breathing room.
Our gap to the car in front is 3.2 seconds.
The thing is, even if we don't catch, let's say, Sainz, so long we can create that breathing room, that is the more important, I think, of the two objectives. I believe my teammate will have the DRS here to defend against, obviously, Ricciardo, which, yeah, I'm not really too keen on Ricciardo coming past. I would like Ricciardo stay behind Gasly for now. As that would just, again, help.
your overtake button more, it's time to utilize some of this energy.
So, obviously at the end of this lap, will be lap 27. And it will also mark the halfway point during this race. And you know, so far I think we've done a fairly decent job here. We're up into PA after starting right now, obviously 20th, bear that in mind. We're in AlphaTauri, like, no safety cars as of yet, so we haven't benefited really from anything unfairly. And right now we're ahead of our teammate by 1.1 seconds. So I think that is so far a excellent job if we had to rate it. I think we've done an awesome job so far, but that's not to say more can't be done. I'm so far satisfied. If the race were to finish, I think we've done an excellent job, but we're still hungry for more, and we want to hopefully try and, even if we can, gain on Carlos Sainz and maybe put Sainz under a bit of pressure, and maybe fight Sainz a little bit. But teammates doing a good job in holding up, obviously, Daniel Ricciardo. How much longer can he do that job for? I'm not entirely sure, but so far doing an excellent job he is. It's been a bit of a roadblock for Ricciardo in his bid to maybe come and catch me. We lost a bit of time there. So Gasly still right now in front of Mr. Ricciardo. As we still continue on our way then right now. We get a little bit of rear end sliding.
Gap to car in front is 3.1 seconds.
So roughly 2 seconds now. Gap between myself and Gasly. Gasly doing a fantastic job, as I say, in holding up Daniel Ricciardo right now, because it's just allowing me to extend my advantage over Ricciardo, over Gasly, and allowing me just to focus purely on trying to hunt down on Carlos Sainz, who's right now in 7th place. Right now, that's where the battle is at. Obviously, that is obviously fantastic for our race right now. That's where right now we're fighting. As we Now really starting to extend that lead then over those behind me. Gap's just gone up, in fact, over Ricardo to 3.3 seconds. And Ricardo is actually probably getting further and further behind, obviously, Gasly as well. So, obviously, what seems to be happening now at this stage in the race, as the race is slightly going on and on and on, I think Ricardo's tyres are starting to fall away a little bit from him, and yeah, that's obviously disadvantaging Daniel Ricciardo, because yeah, seeing all those laps behind the rear of another car can't be good for your tyres. So probably his tyres are gone slightly. So I'm not sure whether my teammate will come in this lap due to the fact that is lap 30. We're going to follow our teammate in the lap after lap 30, so that'll be, well, after he goes in, unless our pit stop comes first, which right now lap 34, so it'll be either next lap or lap after, and DRS is now offline, so it's actually probably important we make sure no one gets past ourselves, because with the DRS offline, that's bad news for myself. Anyway, overall, we're pretty still decent. .2 seconds is the gap. Then, as we are starting to really make inroads into Carlos Sainz's lead, then here, who is right now sat in 7th. My teammate's still ahead of the Renault, still ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, then on lap 30. But will my teammate come in? That'll be the key factor. Yes, he will, so we will follow then our teammate in this lap.
Pierre is in the pits. We can't take you right now. Pit in next lap.
So turn then everything up.
The pit box is currently full. Stay out on track. Stay out
So
on track.
either way, I know by the time we come around it'll be fine. And the reason why we're coming in, just to defend the undercut from our teammate, but also I feel like that'd be the best road to go. Just follow teammate on strategy.
We can't take you right now. Pit in next lap.
It is next lap. So we've also turned up the engine just so we can take everything out of these tyres.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
There we go, pit confirmed. Obviously we're just pushing.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.0 seconds.
Making sure by the time we get into our pit box, everything that's possibly could have been not left on the table wasn't left on the table. Basically making sure everything taken out of the tyres. And in we come then into the pits for a second and what most likely final stop of the day, and we incur a 5-second time penalty. But yeah, I'm not going to accept that obviously, because I feel like we probably only missed it by a couple miles per hour, and probably did then there. Anyway, so in we come then. Final stop of the day, 20 odd laps roughly, should be on these new softs
Exit now.
or mediums. So yeah, 20 laps roughly. Gasly maybe a bit close here.
Strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Gasly is indeed a bit close. but not close enough. So now we're ahead of Gasly.
Fuel is looking really good. You're managing it well.
So we're just going to do probably a bit of fuel saving now. Just a little bit of it. Probably for a lap or two.
Teammate by 2.5 seconds.
So obviously we're on the medium. For whatever reason, why is our teammate on the softs? That is, I think, the bigger question. Why has our teammate gone on softs? Because surely now he's on, well, has just committed to a 3-stop. DRS for us is still offline, so this pass is going to be non-DRS influenced. Which is alright. I like the final sector here. It's very easy.
Spare energy, use your overtake button.
Alright, now turn up the revs again and let's go. Well, do we need DRS? Probably not. Come on, let's carry it around the outside. As we're really now battling away with Giovinazzi.
Okay, box.
As we broke our front wing. I'm just gonna go back to this point. Round the outside, then we go. Over in the car up on the exit. There we go. I'll tell you a circuit I'd love to go to and race on the game. Mugello. You just know these cars are sick at Mugello. Honestly. I wish Codemasters did an update for it. Just added Mugello into it. It'd be awesome. And the reason why it would be awesome, because you just know these cars would really be good. At Mugello, but anyway, good around here anyway.
There is a fault to the DRS. You won't be able to
I know there's a fault with DRS, I don't need a reminder. The thing is, obviously I know a lot of people know this, but the trick of driving a Formula 1 car is making sure you don't get too much sliding. The more or the less sliding you get, the worse it is. You want your car, so certainly in these long corners, you just don't want it to be sliding too much, not too much roll. Here, you want car just turn and get that bite, and you can feel where the car bites. It usually bites, well, just show you, now the car's bitten in there. Let's show another corner where the car would bite. So, car slides, bites. Bit early there, but that's why we drifted out wide. So, the car bit there, roughly. And what I mean by bite, that's the point where the car's happy to get on the accelerator. Usually in slow corners you see it a little bit more. So the car bit there. There we just smoothly on the throttle. And that's where the rear sort of just, yep, says, yep, okay, let's go for it, sort of thing. So, alright, should be back up into points now. There we go, back into the points, P10. So at the minimum, I feel like we're certainly chasing down and bearing down on Ricciardo's neck. Certainly should be very much on top of Ricciardo. Obviously, our teammate has gone for the free stop here, which I find a bit bizarre, because, and the reason why I find it a bit bizarre, you can just see, like, yeah, he may be a bit faster than me here and there, you know, in these few laps, but here's the thing, he's going to stop again. That's going to put him 20 seconds behind me, automatically. He's gonna drop roughly 20 seconds to everyone else. So he's gonna be around 15 seconds behind Ricciardo by the time Ricciardo makes, well, by the time Gasly makes his third and final stop. It's just no sense there. If, like, let's say Ricciardo, well, if obviously there was a benefit, which clearly there isn't in this scenario, and if there is a benefit, it's very minimal. Like, I mean, the amount he gains is virtually next to nil. I just don't see why he's done it. Like, we've got an 8-second gap now to Ricciardo, so if we want, we don't even have to go, let's say, full throttle anymore with that gap. Like, our gap is very good, but to basically, in other words, to basically get a free pit stop ourselves, we would have to be, let's say, 18 seconds ahead. Right now, Gasly is only 9 seconds ahead of Ricciardo, at minimum. Well, that's us 9 seconds ahead, so he's around 7 seconds ahead. He's going to lose 20 seconds in pit stop phase, roughly. So he's going to lose basically that to Ricciardo, then 9 seconds plus a whole lot more. It's going to drop him out of the points, probably down into, well, if I was to pit now, I'd drop down into 14th. So he'll probably be dropping down into 14th, 15th as well. If he's to pit. Well, he is to pit, because he hasn't used the medium tyre, as far as I'm aware. We take the escape road, we'll stay on time in this race. But, in all seriousness, I don't see why he's done that. And gone for that free stop. It's a bit nonsensical, if you know what I mean. It's not worth it. Like, even the two-stop. I feel like two-stop, even this is a bit slow, the two-stop. I feel like the one-stop would have been probably the better of the two strategies at full stop. Because even now, we're still, let's say, making up on any lost time. So, yeah. Like, the only time I would consider a third stop, and I'll tell you this now, is if there was a safety car. And that'd be for a set of the softs. So, Gasly, if he does come through, I'll just let him. So that was more like an orchestrated pass rather than fighting Gasly there, because Gasly is on a different strategy to ourselves. He's got to make another stop, Gasly will. That is a matter of, well, win, not if. So yeah, he's definitely making another pit stop. As we go very deep there. We lose abundance of time. But good news is now we've got the DRS back online. So Ricciardo is gaining. Obviously, Ricciardo, I reckon, may be on our rear end by lap 48 or something. It'll be towards the end of this race, I suspect. Ricciardo will be on, well, will be behind me. So, question is, when is Gasly going to pit? We know he's got to make a pit stop, well, within the last 10 or so laps. Well, also, what tyre will he go on? He can't go for the softs, because that would mean he invalidates the tyre rule and breaks that regulation. So he must go for clearly a tyre that is obviously not been used. So that'll be either the medium or the hard for Pierre Gasly. He must go for that tyre. He can't go for the softs, as that is the rules. So he's got to make a pit stop prior to lap 50, I believe 2, if I'm correct. 52 would be his last opportunity, as there is now blue flags been waved, so I presume the leaders aren't too far behind. Obviously, certainly within the same sector as myself and Pierre, or very close to us. So they're probably no more than a few corners behind, probably more closer to Ricardo, I suspect. Anyway, on with our race as Pierre Gasly still, well, now heading us, as we sort of not handed him the position, but we sort of gave him the position, so that obviously he can maybe have a chance at making his strategy work, whether his strategy is. I don't think it's right strategy, personally. I think Gasly is on the wrong strategy. However, what this is now doing quite nicely is, because Ricardo's now back getting lapped by traffic, okay, and we're picking up DRS each lap right now behind our teammate. What this is doing is, it's actually, I've just realised, bringing me a little bit closer to Carlos Sainz, and it's taken me further away from Daniel Ricciardo within the last few laps. So it's working a real treat for myself, actually, believe it or not. This is actually, yeah, really helping me out. So thank you, Gasly. Thank you for going on to the wrong strategy, because you're actually helping me out right now. Obviously, technically, a win for Gasly seems to be a win for Kvyat, and a win for Kvyat, a win for Gasly, because, you know, let's not forget, actually, in the Italian Grand Prix, it was Kvyat who actually told AlphaTauri to pit Pierre Gasly, and that worked out alright for Pierre, so this one's working alright for me, because right now Pierre Gasly ahead of me on the track is giving me a tow, giving me some old DRS. That lap, for whatever reason, we weren't given DRS, still getting a tow down the straight either way. And yeah, that is certainly helping a little bit. Also, will we be lapped in this race? That's another question. Will we be lapped by our race leader, Lewis Hamilton? I believe Hamilton's race leader, or Bottas is, one of the two. Anyway, we're gaining once again on Gasly here. So, where is obviously race leader? Race leader is coming through the, not the final two corners, but further back obviously. So lap 44, Valtteri Bottas actually may be race leader, so he's just come across start finish straight. So lap 44 right now. Gasly right now, obviously just ahead of us, still yet to make his final stop. Obviously, not sure when he will make it, but I know he does need to make it. There's no debating that, because right now Gasly has only made, well, 2 stops. However, he hasn't met the tyre requirement, and the tyre requirement means you have to use at least 2 different sets of compounds, and unfortunately Gasly hasn't done that. In fact, if we just go to race director so you can see what exactly I mean. So Gasly, well, everyone else has made the same amount of stops, but most people, as you can see, have gone soft, medium, soft, medium, soft, medium, soft, medium, soft, medium, as you can see. However, Gasly, the only odd one out here, as you can see, has gone, obviously, soft, so triple softs, and if we go to the pit stops, you can exactly see exactly what's gone on. And in fact, oh, that's a new feature I think they've added into the game. You can now see the best pit stop. So 2.4 for Nicholas Latifi on lap 38. That's pretty quick. Indeed. Let's see if there's actually anything quicker. I want to see. 2.3 for Alex Albon. Red Bull guys always produce good pit stops. 2.3 as well for... Yeah, no, sorry, Albon, that is. I'm reading. 2.9, so we've been roughly 2.8, so one of more slower ones, actually. In terms of best one so far, so 2.3 so far is best for Albon. Appears that is literally the best pit stop for all the teams. But we were the first 2. As you can see, we're actually in sync in terms of our pit stops. Whereas other teams haven't quite done that. Other teams may have split strategies a little bit more, letting one car run a bit deeper into the race. So yeah. But that's actually interesting, I think. So you now see the fastest pit stops as well. That's cool. That's Gasly getting a little bit sideways. So, right, final few laps. Gasly is still yet to pit. We run currently P9, however, make that P8 because Gasly is yet pit. Ricardo P10, make that P9, and Norris is right now the final point scorer right now, scoring points for McLaren as well. So, by the looks of it, we've gone from P20 up to 8. That's not a bad result. I don't think, personally myself, I think that's pretty alright. That's pretty decent. Of course, you know, I never expected we'd be in the podium positions, but as I said, you know, P13, P8, P7 is roughly where this car's capable, and now Pierre Gasly releases me, and obviously he peels off into the pit lane to make his final stop. So now it's about bringing the car home, really, I think, for myself, as we enter this final few laps. Then it is very clear we're not going to probably have the pace to catch Carlos Sainz. And yeah, I'm not really caring too much about Sainz. Like, we'll see. We'll try and catch, obviously. You never give up in Formula 1.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
You always got to keep going to the flag. That's when it officially counts. No point of being P1 on lap 1 and then not being able to stay there or finish there. Because that isn't what gets you the result. It's finishing all laps That is how you win races and how you get the results, of course. But right now, certainly don't look like we've got the pace to catch Carlos Sainz Jr.
Teammate by 23.7 seconds.
So you can just hear 23 seconds is now the gap back to our teammate, because obviously he's had to make a pit stop. And as you can see, we don't have to make any more pit stops. That is all the pit stops done for today, in matter of fact. For probably all the drivers and teams. Unless well, even if there was a late safety car right now, would you go for a set of the softs? Would you take a pit stop and go for tyres over track position? To be honest, I'm not really sure. Like, you know, overall, I suppose, yeah, you do want fresh tyres to try and maximise race result, and that would be a factor for sure when you consider it, but would you still go for it and take it? I don't know.
Be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race.
I guess if we had, let's say, a virtual safety car or a safety car and we were in the position, I think we may, but right now there is no, by the looks of it, possibility of that. Because the may is, there isn't one. So right now Perez is now up into 10th, Ricciardo obviously 9th, we're 8th, Sainz is in 7th, only 3 seconds up road though. It is close, like we are matching one another, but that's the problem, we're only matching one another. I'm faster here, Sainz is faster in another part of the circuit. It's not like one is really making massive inroads into the other or taking something really much out of one another. It's just niggly, you're quicker there, I'm quicker here, like, yeah, and really that's all that's separating myself and Carlos right now. If we can get closer, let's say within a second, we've got a chance, but thing is, we're running out of laps also to do that, like, that's the bigger problem probably we've got right now, not necessarily, you know, but that lap was pretty good. 2.6 seconds now, we've reduced the gap down to, which actually could be a first sign, maybe there is a slim hope of catching and overtaking Carlos Sainz here for what could be P7, as we take another 2/10 out of Carlos Sainz, also there as well. And now, just a glimmer of hope is starting to shine through in these very, very closing laps. 2.1, 1.9, and there we go. We've spun the car. And in theory, that should be us out of the race, but we are going to use a flashback. And I think that'll be the third one of the day, which isn't too bad considering we've only had 3 therefore moments in theory. Anyway, let's refocus. So 4 laps to go. I don't believe we're going to get lapped in this race. So it should be okay there. We lose a little bit of time, a little bit more time. .5 though is the gap.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
So we're still gaining. Three laps to go, or 4 laps, whatever you want to say.
Gap to teammate behind is 23.5 seconds.
So it is literally now a race between myself and Carlos for P7. As actually Carlos is struggling and is losing a handful of time over us. That gap down to 1.9, 1.8, as the gap is starting to just ever steadily come down. In fact, the last lap we should be well within range. Again though, in the sectors where it counts, Carlos just able to stabilise the gap. As we cross the line, 2.3, and we lose a little bit of time there. 2.5. Right, I'm going to turn up the rev mixture and try and burn off remainder of the fuel that we've got now to the finish line, obviously. I want P7. Or I want to try and get it. So everything now is going to be deployed to the line with fuel. Nothing left on the table.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
So 2 laps to go. So at the end of this lap, we need to be within 1 second of signs, otherwise it's probably curtains for myself. So 1 second, that's what we need to get the gap down to. If we want any chance, that's any chance of taking P7 in this race. So that's basically every corner we got to do twice as quicker. I really just hope we've got enough on the table, as we are gaining. We are certainly bringing that gap right down. This lap is quite a quick lap. that we're on. I've actually done fastest middle sector then that. I'll do a 1:20, 1:36.5 final lap of the race then. Not quite within the DRS range, but we are gaining still. Got just about 1 lap of fuel remaining on board. That little moment, could that be the moment that we've just handed signs? Basically, P7 on a plate. Valtteri Bottas wins then the Russian Grand Prix for the second time in his Formula 1 career then. So yeah, that's alright for obviously Bottas, but we continue our chase, we continue our fight against obviously Carlos Sainz, who obviously right now is just ahead on the track. This, well, we need to be within the DRS range. We're not within the DRS range. That probably is the end of the race then for us. Then as we will still try and use a little bit more. All the way to the line we'll go as we brake for final sector for a final time. Coming through final few corners then there to round off the Russian Grand Prix then. And yeah, not a bad race. P20 to PA, I still can't complain. We maximise that result. That's good. I'll take that. That is very good. It's the best result we could have done, I think, there, considering everything. I'm not really sure if there was anything literally more we could have done, because you got to consider not just, you know, like, you got to consider not just the pace of the car, but you've also got to consider where we started. And to be honest, you start P20, you're already at a disadvantage. Like, so yeah, overall quite happy with that and satisfied. Gasly 13th, so only finishing where he started, so just goes to show, yeah, like, strategy in a way. I feel did Gasly in there, because I feel Gasly, if he went on to a similar strategy to what we did, he would have probably finished around 9th. Like, I'm not saying, well, yeah, as I say, he would have probably finished 9th if he did the same or similar strategy to what we did. So obviously that result doesn't reflect Gasly's true pace today.
Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Interesting choice today, I think. There's a few to pick from, but I think I have to give it to Danny Kvyat.
And yeah, we get driver of the day. Very good. That is, of course. And did we deserve that? That is the real question. Based on the fact, I'd say we came through the field from 20th to 8th. I think the answer's yes, we did deserve it. However, I will give honourable mention to also Carlos Sainz, P10 to P7. That's a pretty decent result. Then there as well. And yeah, minute 12 in the end then there. We didn't get lapped. I thought we may have been in risk of being lapped. But Gasly was the last of the lapped cars. And Nicholas Latifi got lapped twice, which just shows how slow Nicholas Latifi was. And I do wonder why that was. I just want to check something, whether like Latifi had any damage or was there any repairs. So wait, we can check this. Firstly, first stop, no. And don't forget, we came out. So in fact, I believe the gap was if I'm correct, after that first stop, we came out on lap, remember, 18, okay, of them pit stops, and if we recall rightly, okay, that then put us 16 seconds clear, 19 seconds clear of Latifi. I don't believe we lapped Latifi during the race. I'm not sure. We may have. Well, if he's 2 laps down, then yeah, we did. I think we probably did lap Latifi. I think everyone would have then lapped Latifi, even George Russell, possibly even. But surely, could we finish on the lead lap? I think we must have lapped Latifi. Because we finished on the lead lap, 53. He would have finished, yeah, so he would have lapped Latifi then in that race. In fact, like, the only cars we may not have lapped would have been these cars here. But yeah, Latifi, really bad race in there. But I don't think he had any damage at any one point during the race. His pace was just slow. In fact, just to show you how slow he was going, 43s. His best lap time was a 40.6. Compare that to George Russell, who was also not too much faster, but best lap time was a 1:38.9. So 2 seconds a lap faster. I don't think there was any damage on Latifi's car, of what I'm aware. There possibly could have been, but the only weird thing would be during the 2 stops. Well, as you can see, no repairs done to Nicholas Latifi during them 2 pit stops that he had. So, to me, that would suggest some other reasoning to maybe why his pace was just slow today. Not sure, yeah, why, but it was just really slow. But yeah, that is what it is. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this full Grand Prix. And the Russian Grand Prix then we've done today. And in fact, just to let you know, we had also a pretty decent lap time. I believe we had, not fastest lap time, but we were actually, in terms of our best lap time, was up there with Max Verstappen, Albon, and Vettel, equally, and Hamilton as well. We were actually quicker than, so during that 1 lap pace, obviously, when we maxed the car. But yeah, thank you for watching, have a great day, see you next time.